Hi everyone, welcome to Sketching. Hope you're having a great New Year's Day, 1st of Jan 2018, and I hope you've started the sketching channel today. So today what I'm doing is doing a drawing of a little kind of floret of broccoli that we're going to have later on for our tea. And today I decided to use, again, another brush because I wanted to test out all the brushes in Procreate. So I used the Fresco brush, which is in the artistic panel in Procreate with the artistic brushes. Really nice brush to use to kind of create a bit of round texture and kind of like a cloudy like texture. So again, all I've done is I've just blocked out the kind of main areas where the kind of little, the round circular little poppy type things are on top of this broccoli head, and then all I'm going in with now is the acrylic brush and kind of creating the structure of the stalk. And yeah, so I actually did like this Fresco brush. I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to use this brush for everything, but if you've got a lot of texture like a broccoli has, then I would recommend giving it a go on that. Generally speaking, you can really draw in digital using any brush really. I mean, because you can just change the shape of the head of the brush, and even with this Fresco brush, if you go in really small on the head, you can't even tell what type of brush it is, to be totally honest with you. So it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but you do try them out if you've got Procreate. So yeah, so all I'm doing now is blocking in the different shades of green, going in with like a lighter tone. Started off with a kind of mid-tone, now going in with a lighter, and then kind of going in with dark to kind of create these small little ridges and these little branches that are coming out of the stalk. It's quite like a tree. I mean, if you look at it from the angle of this picture that I've taken it from, it's like you're standing under a small little tree. But it's a very interesting subject to draw, broccoli, and I mean, I wasn't really going to do this on this sketching challenge purely because of the intricate details on it, but I thought I'll give it a go, and I'll use a technique that I've used in my illustrative children's books in the past, where I've done fantasy art, enchanted forest art, where I do small circular motions and kind of build on each motion to kind of really bring out texture. And I'll do that when I start doing the top part of the broccoli, and it worked fairly well on this one. However, I really needed at least 3 to 4 hours on this to get this to the standard that I would be half satisfied with. So that's what I'm doing right now here. I'm just creating these small kind of dots, if you like, with the Fresco brush, and I'm just kind of layering it on, creating that texture, going in. First I went in dark with the overall shape, and then I'm going in with a slightly lighter shade to create that real depth, because there's a lot of depth in this image. There's a lot of darks going on to lights, and there's a lot of kind of interrelated textures going on here. It's a very difficult drawing to do in a small amount of time, but I think you should really give this one a go, purely just to get some texture down and to kind of experiment with these circular motions. So all I'm doing now is I'm adding in some lighter areas to kind of really bring out each little, if you like, bubble shape, and it works really well. I mean, yeah, like I said before, the enchanted castle forest that I did for my children's illustration, I think it was about a couple of years back, I did it on my iPad Air, and that scene that I did, it took me probably about 3 to 4 hours to complete. I mean, it is a very, very long-winded approach, this, kind of going in with these little dots, this stippling, dotting effect. So it is a long-winded process, but the end result is really good, I feel, because I don't think you can really achieve that if you don't spend the time on it. Obviously, there's loads of brushes that you can get on digital in Procreate and in many other packages and apps and software that already create texture for you. But for me personally, I like to kind of really go create the texture myself using the brushes that are available, because that's what I do when I do my traditional work. Obviously, I'm not saying don't use the texture brushes in Procreate. But kind of like really, to learn from a learning perspective, I would really say, try creating texture yourself with the limited brushes that you have available, just with simple brushes, and it really will kind of open up that kind of world of texture to you, of how to create different forms and shapes, use cross-hatching, stippling, scribbling, all them types of techniques will start opening up to you. So yeah, so all I'm doing now is just highlighting with that dark green colour, creating a bit of an outline with the HB or the 6B pencil, sorry, and really adding some cross hatching in to bring out the form of this stalky part of this piece of broccoli. I've got a really bad throat today, so I apologise in advance if I start having a coughing attack. I don't know what it is. This virus, this horrible virus that's been going on in this winter period, and it's kind of really grabbed hold of me today. So I warn you in advance. If I start coughing, it's not on purpose. It's because I'm not feeling too great, but hey, that's not stopped me from doing my challenge today. No, it hasn't, so it shouldn't stop anybody else. So just doing the cross hatching all the way across, really to bring out that texture, and going in quite dark on the darker areas. So do give this one a go. I mean, the image is pretty good. I mean, it's a bit of an odd angle that I've chosen to draw this in, but I wanted to kind of get all the textures in, because if you kind of draw it from just the top part, then you're just kind of doing one type of texture, whereas from here, this angle, you've literally got about at least 5 different textures that you can work on. So yeah, all I'm doing now is adding my standard drop shadow in with the airbrush, going in really dark, and then really reducing the opacity so that it looks nice and uniform. And now all I'm doing is adding in the highlights with the gel pen, or the technical pen from the ink set, and using cross-hatching again to really bring the attention to those areas of highlight. I really hope you're starting this challenge. I mean, it's the 1st of January. There should be nothing stopping you now, so just go for it. Start off with this broccoli. Just start off tonight, and if you already haven't done so, just get a piece of paper and start doing some scribbling, some sketching, some shading, and just come up with something, and then keep that going, so that by the 30th of Jan you'll have 30 decent sketches that you can start working on and implementing. So all I'm doing now here is just adding in some darks with the airbrush again to really bring out that depth, and adding some highlights, airbrushing, and that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give the video a thumbs up, and please also subscribe to the channel, and please also share the channel with others so we can all learn from each other. And I hope you have a great day. Happy New Year's again. Take care of yourself, keep sketching, and peace.